Hiya, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome too. I hope you can hear this. I'm going to be talking a bit quietly, a bit of ASMR for you, as it is Gemini season and I just got out of work. So here I am on the new moon in Gemini. If you're new, by the way, do subscribe if you like what I do. Hit the notification bell, get in touch if you want to read in, all that jazz. But we are going to talk about the new moon, which officially starts on or is on June 10th of this year, tomorrow, as I record this, sometime sort of between 9 a.m., 10:30 a.m. UK time. And if you don't know what a new moon is or like represents, you can look at my video on new moons and full moons. And we are going to talk about lots of things like the moon sun conjunct, the retrograde Mercury, the retrograde North Node, Mercury square Neptune, the anoretic Mars, the lovers, just some different things that came to mind, different things, of course, that I noticed when looking at the astrology at this particular new moon moment. So I really do think, first of all, and I feel that, let's just see how I look, by the way, because I can't like see myself as I record. Okay, that'll do. I really do feel that this is a really amazing new moon in Gemini. You can take a look again at my Gemini season video, which I did very recently, where I talked a little bit about this particular season's energies. But yeah, there's a really exhilarating freshness. Can you feel it? It's also kind of like the Ace of Cups in the tarot. There's a fresh gushing and a keenness to run before we can walk. And I don't think that the trips and the falls that happen when we do this are too drastic. Even if we might make them dramatic, I don't think they're too drastic or severe, since we have Mercury retrograding in one of its own signs. So it's more like an acceptance of hiccups, of crossing wires as being a part of life. At the end of the day, a lot of us feel fresh and new and beautiful in the knowledge that things aren't that deep sometimes, that even breakups and fights and disagreements can be glossed over right now, that there's no need to sort of think ourselves into a grudge or like and we don't want to do that once Cancer season comes, but think ourselves into a grudge or like to force ourselves to sort of stick to anyone or anything that we don't want to be with or to be about. So it's a bit like running really fast to catch your bus as well. And like when you get on the bus, panting, probably like I do. It's the only exercise I do, darling. You get on the bus, but then you realize that you left something like your phone or whatever, or your mask. You left something at home. So there are a few of the dope moments here and there for us this whole month. But the brand newness of this new moon really helps us blow things over. It helps us think with a bit more of a carefree attitude. Basically, it doesn't matter really, because we got on the bus, didn't we? And we're going to get to work or wherever the frig it was that we were going. So a lot of Gemini energy is about winging it mentally, winging it with our words, our writing, and our interactions. And I feel that even if some of us are leaving a job or got fired or something, as long as we've been working with these metal ox year energies, these overarching energies that I always talk about, that is that we've been staying generally in the lane that we wanted to, or that we want to be in, then we'll be fine. Okay, you suffered a bit of a loss, but do you have other better options? It is quite likely this time of year that something can just work out. It can just like fall pretty neatly and cannily into your plan. And that sort of just spurs you on. It keeps you interested in the future. But also, this new moon contains so much reflection on the past. With this conjunction to a retrograding Mercury in Gemini, not far at all from retrograding North Node in Gemini. So there's even a lot of forced focus on what the frig we're doing presently, and how our words and our actions and the ways we skip and beat around bushes actually get us into more trouble than it's really worth. You know, it's like having an uncomfortable conversation with someone which you've had in the past already. You've been through this already, but somehow this time you're feeling confident and canny. I keep using or thinking about this word canny at the minute for Gemini season. But yeah, we are confident that this time we don't blow our top off, that this time we don't get coaxed or egged on like into or to do or say something regrettable. There's a real impulse, I think, here to just say, okay. I mean, I was talking about this with someone today. I just say, okay. It's very simple, isn't it? Like 2 letters. Okay. To someone, to just say that to someone. And that's that. And to let that be that. There's like no snark, there's no bitterness, no shade. Just, okay. It's a plain and simple yeah moving forward, this ox year. And we need to, I feel, embrace this mental freshness, this new moon, which can so easily help us make those sort of genius concoctions that is Gemini, and put our hands to something in a really superstar sort of way. Gemini is the juggler, especially of words, communication, and of humor. And so this could be like a great moment for anyone who writes music, for example, or lyrics, but also for those thinking of going back to Gemini type hobbies with this retrograde energy, or business even that you left somewhere in the past, perhaps because someone like told you, or you just told yourself that you couldn't do it, right? Or you listened to the wrong quote unquote advice. And I wouldn't be surprised if some people repicked up a language they were learning, or decided again to try learning a new language or a code, or to sort of wrap their minds again around a set of procedures or methods relating to things like the mind and mental health, or even just more simply things like correspondence, things like what do you call it? What's that word? Consultancy. That's very Gemini as well, that type of thing. But anyway, there's also this truly other amazing aspect of this new moon when where we simply pay attention to the quote unquote mundane things around us. The things that are just being said, the words that we just see on the signs and stuff, the lyrics that we hear, the numbers that we see, and to follow these synchronicities, to learn which synchronicities are patterns of affirmation from your spirit guides, your ancestors. And there can really, I think, be such joy, such a sort of like, I throw my hands up in the air type of joy, even if we're throwing the towel in, in some sense. But there's still this joy. And that joy gets affirmed to us, or so easily could, right? It gets to us through the simple things in the mundane world, like the flight of birds in the sky. It's a very Gemini air season type thing, or the bugs that catch our eye, the butterflies, and just that whole cool, interconnected way in which youth and happiness and playfulness and fun are reflected back at us by simple scenes like people cycling down the street or like the cheeky kid you see in the restaurant, and just this affirmation that it's okay, it's enough in this busyness, in this buzz, it's enough to just think and to talk freely and to exist and experience freely within it, but with relativity. This is air, right? So with relativity as well, and a little bit of flexi distance. And yeah, to understand that not everything has to be a mind game either, and not everything has to be dramatic or chaotic, whether that's in your actual conversations and relationships or just with yourself, within yourself. Sometimes we make things more chaotic with the way we respond, the words we give to a situation or a dynamic, and it gets battered around in echo chambers that we find ourselves unable to escape from, and we just get stuck in. That can be something that really happens in the ox year, just getting stuck in a particular lane for a whole year. And then also we have the North Node, which is adding to this need for us to make sure that whatever new things we're tangling up in or tangoing with, just making sure that they are not basically deceitful lies. That's a very darker side of Gemini energy. There is this current tendency to also obsess over knowing the most about people or a person, or knowing the most about some subject or a set of subjects. So yeah, we will have to make sure that we're not getting cocky about advancing the database, so to speak, and that, especially with Mercury retrograde, because we'll get slapped right in the face and quite quickly when we do this. But yeah, making sure we're not cocky about advancing this database, that we're, of course, thinking about others, whether that's other people or just the other situation, the other energy, and getting along with the other. And this is the Lover's card as well in the Tarot. It's choosing to agree to disagree with someone quite often, and it's recognizing, if we can, when we can, the canny sort of characteristics of people and not the less desirable ones. And in that Gemini way, sort of cruising by all of it, seeing it and taking it all in, dancing with it even, but also allowing yourself to do that Gemini thing of not calling someone or messaging them back for ages. There's a certain allowance, I think, we have right now to do this, because maybe you've done nothing wrong. You have a license to do it. You don't have to engage with everyone or everything. You can just say that, okay, you can sashay yourself away if something or someone is killing your nice vibes, you know? And we want nice vibes, them sort of Gemini, titillating conversations, the jokes, the crack. We also want decent advice that's not judgmental, yet which is also what we really need to hear. And that's quite a skill, actually, to communicate that to someone, not judgmental or not coming across as judgmental, but what we really need to hear. Now, with Mars at 29 degrees, which is the anoretic degree, the scary degree in Cancer, we are being pushed, or maybe we're doing the pushing, or it's a bit of both, in relational senses. If we've not been able to deal with our sensitivity, a lot of the time, Gemini season and this new moon will give us this intense boost of frig this, and that cockiness can come through, or that chaos can really smash things to pieces if we just don't care enough, or suddenly we don't care anymore. And with Mercury retrograde, it wouldn't like surprise me if some people make mistakes basically by reconnecting with exes or ex-lovers, only to have it cause some mess later in July. With that Mercury retrograde also squaring Neptune, a lot of us have also still been like doubting the blessing or the blessings and overly thinking that someone or something is too good to be true. But, you know, not everything is there to be secretly, tripping us up. Sometimes it's quite simply the result of what you've given to the world up to this point, the effort you've put into things up to this point. So some of us do get that great job, that amazing partner or set of partners. And we really do sometimes feel this Gemini dandy, jack of all trades energy that makes us feel so young and so full of curiosity, and having new moon as well, fresh sort of plans in the mind, and progressive thoughts that are progressing our everyday movements as well. When I say progressive with Gemini, I don't mean like necessarily out of the box, crazy, avant-garde. That's a bit more Aquarius. I mean just little clever knacks that improve the day-to-day experience and make it more fun, but also more efficient. And anyway, we can easily use this new moon to know that we can always have a trick up our sleeves, and we can always manifest really cool things. We can also always go back in time and pick some skill or some language or some activity back up again. So let's dust off them books, and let's get our thinking caps back on and let's really put multiple hands to something, because there's a lot of potential here, I feel, for things to really follow through in a blessed way, where more and more of it can just get drawn in. So anyway, do let me know in the comments where you'll be having this new moon in Gemini and in which house. And yeah, let's talk about it. I love you. Good night, good day, wherever you are. Bye-bye.